Welcome back to the podcast of My Music Show. All dude edition today. My rude brood of dragon dudes. You know what I mean? It's like to be here. Back again, guys. First time with no female energy, which I get a lot of at home, so it's nice to get away from that yin and into that yang. Hey, if you know what I'm saying. We're here with, we got an intern too, and Indy, the boss man himself.
That's right, it's good to be here. I'm happy to use this forum to clear up a couple things. Real quick, what did you do with the money?
The money?
The money I gave you for the theme song.
Oh, well, you know, boss man, I got a daughter, I got a family, I got one on the way, and, you know, so I've been stockpiling diapers. It's all responsible stuff, but, I paid some writers overseas to help me with that.
You paid someone to write that for you?
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
how much that run us?
Not write it, but like consultant.
Yeah. Consult, right.
To consult with the solos.
And what was his idea? He said flailing arms, you jumped in with growling.
Yeah, well, it's not just flailing. I mean, I imagine my drum kit.
Right. So how's the publishing split on this tune? Exactly. And what's my take?
We're working it out.
No, you're right. It's your house.
I mean, it's your show. It's your show, boss man. No. Whatever you like. Whatever you want, man.
I'm just here to hang out. Do your thing. Do your thing.
I mean, you're the boss.
Mm-hmm.
So, as per your orders, we'll hang out. I don't have to do it anymore if you don't want to.
No. Do your thing. I'm just gonna chirp in every once in a while.
Do my best.
Be yourself. I'm gonna judge you quietly and internally.
That's fine. That's been my whole life. I can deal with that for sure. Judging quietly and internally, go for it. I'm used to it. I've had a baby when I was 12. You know what I mean? So, society. You know what I mean? It's psyched to be here with the bros. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just happy to be with my dudes. Okay, let's just.
All P's, no V's.
We don't need to. We don't know. Yeah, sausage factory. You know what I mean? I guess. Literally, though, I was gonna do some sausage making lessons later.
Could you please? That has always fascinated me. The process of how sausage is made. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, would you freaking
And I guess this would be a sausage fest, as they say. I still don't know what that means, but I would love to delve into the inner workings of a sausage factory.
It's a festival of sausage making. It's how we grind the mixture. I like to go
Fascinating.
with, for like 17 pounds of meat, lean, we'll use about 5 to 8 pounds of fat. Typically pork. And you grind it all up. We're going to talk about casings. I like natural casings myself, usually pork, but lamb casings are nice too if you want a smaller sausage. Beef casings if you want a larger. There's all kinds of sausages we could talk about making, from your traditional kielbasa or bratwurst, right down to something more ethnic, perhaps Spanish merguez or Mexican chorizo.
I regret asking that question. I apologize.
Lots of info
everyone.
About meat making. I will share with you at any time. Enter too.
Well, thank you. I politely retract my statement.
Politely?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's a good one, Enter too. Politely.
Yes, sir.
Really proud of you. Anyway, Indy, you ever been in any kind of all male retreats like this one before?
I have with my buddy Shaman back in the day.
Shaman's a good guy.
Oh, he's a great guy.
I like he's very in touch with the animal spirits.
He is. He's in touch with pretty much all kinds of relationships. He's a great guy for advice. A great guy to I just like being around him. He doesn't try hard. He just is himself, and there's kind of a glow that I just enjoy having shined upon me.
Seems like a strong silent type. Am I right in saying that?
He is. You are correct, oddly. He has this way with women. It's just great to hang out with him.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
He's really comfortable talking to other people, and he makes other people feel comfortable. I've learned a lot about love. How to really please a woman.
Wow. I bet it has to do, but that's because if you're a shaman like that, your first relationship was with Mother Earth.
That's exactly right. Well said.
If you can really interact with that Gaia energy, if you know how to be as Coyote upon the hills, then you know how to run through those fields. You know what I mean?
We just took a lot of ayahuasca and just masturbated all night.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We're gonna do that same thing, but we're gonna make sausages together. Anyway, it's nice. It's nice to be doing this. It's nice to have Boss Man here. It's not every day you come out of that. You're the man in the tower. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I always see you around, but sometimes you're up there Wizard of Oz with your machinations and getting you down here in the workshop. I feel like we all can learn a lot from the boss man.
Yeah, I'm excited that you're here, actually, Andy. In fact, I'm a bit flattered, that you're here. Honestly, it's just kind of nice that you respect me enough to, be in the same vein, the same, workplace. I really, I take it as a sign of respect, though. So thank you for that.
I requested to not sit next to you.
Yeah,
I did request that. I also requested the vegan option, neither of which have come to fruition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to switch, or is it too late?
No, you're stuck there, buddy.
All right.
You're in the middle of the.
I did try. So
I'll tell you why, Hunter, too. Indy and I are both our own men. You know what I mean? There's a lot of alpha energy between us.
A lot of it.
So you can't put us too close to each other. That's why we need to put, not really a beta, more like an omega kind of figure
I've read about that.
between us, just to create a buffer zone. This way we can get along, we can talk, because we have such a minor, non-threatening entity between us.
Right.
So by putting the end of the alphabet of dominance
Omega
there, that's correct. We're able to converse politely, exchange ideas. If we were next to each other, it would just be extremely violent.
Well, every pawn serves its purpose, I suppose.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
That is correct.
We got like a knight and a bishop, a rook and a king. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you gotta have pawns.
And you gotta have pawns. That's how the game is played. Absolutely.
What I don't understand is that, like, if it's unspoken between us that if there were to be some kind of blackout or zombie apocalypse outside and we were forced into cannibalism, we would eat you first.
Absolutely.
We don't have to discuss it. We
Right.
never have. It's just unspoken. It's something we know.
Dark turn.
Understood.
Very dark turn.
We have never discussed that, but we're both acutely aware of who's going first, and it's you.
It's oddly accurate that you're both. Huh. All right.
Yeah.
And looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I have plans. Yeah, I'm gonna make your fingers like buffalo wings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Double fried.
Oh, can
Throw
we?
them in a little Frank's Red Hot and butter.
There's always meat in the fries. They say there's not, but there always is.
Oh, Metal
nice.
Indy, can we move on? My fingers feel like they're gonna fall off. That's.
I mean, you should feel good about it. You're serving your purpose in the universe. This is shaman stuff, That's what I'm saying. I mean, you're part of the brood, You get to be part of the brood of dragons. You're still in the Dude Fest.
Yeah.
You just have a role within it.
This is a dude fest, isn't it?
That's correct.
Yes. Yes.
The rude dude brood. Making this guy food.
Sausage, right?
Puts me in a good mood.
There it is.
Woo! I like your attitude, though. You're just going along with it.
I tried. I couldn't do it.
Nope.
I tried to rhyme.
Hey, you ever play that game Snood? Darn it. It's pretty good.
My favorite musical is The Mystery of Edwin Drood.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I like to go to Stonehenge and just think about druids, which are kind of like shamans. So full circle.
We're getting the
too
stop
shabby.
rhyming
Yeah.
hand signals
Yes.
from
Yeah. We got it, Bigfoot.
control room.
We got it, Bigfoot, okay?
He's got a ton of hand signals, none of which have been explained to us
Yeah,
beforehand.
they're very confusing, but the stop rhyming one, Bigfoot's pretty good with his hands. Because otherwise he just has like groans and also his shit. He seems to communicate.
I used a lot of shampoo.
Hey, all right.
There it is.
But anyway, guys, make sure you keep asking us questions on Reddit, Twitter, on the podcast comment sections on My Music Show. We're reading them. We're gonna answer them at the end of every podcast. And Boss Man, it really is great to have you here. So thanks for coming by.
Thanks, I appreciate it. It's kind of you to say. It feels good to use this as a forum to get out my message.
Oh, which one?
Yeah.
There's a couple. We'll get to them later on. In the
Okay,
program.
sure. No spoilers. You know what I mean?
No spoilers. I mean, I'm a big. I appreciate podcasts. I appreciate a true podcast, which is really what I used to do with my dad, which was take one of those bullhorns on the roof and just shout out to whoever walked by.
Oh yeah. I used to do that kind of thing too.
That's a podcast?
Well, it's the original podcast, yeah.
It's really come from it. You learn your history. I mean, do you work at this transmedia company?
Okay, fair enough.
Come on.
Fair point.
Sometimes I feel like if it's not about white bread, you just don't know it.
Yeah.
I do love my white bread.
I know
Guilty.
you do. It makes me wonder.
Yeah.
I got
trying
that.
to relate on
I
his
got that
level.
reference.
We wonder. That's why you're the boss, man.
All right, little much.
That's why you're the boss. Yes, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Way to go.
That was almost a sentence. Good.
There's just, I'm really impressed. Anyway, make a flowchart about it, intern.
There it is. And there's a lot of other podcasts out there I like. I love the W2F podcast with Mark Maron. I love Foodiegasm. I love Super Ego is my favorite one. John Green hit me to the Bugle. I like that one a lot. I like all the political ones, Talk on the Nation, Meet the Press.
Yeah.
There's one on, what's that one about woodworking that I really like? They don't talk, you just hear wood being worked on.
Just shaving the
sounds
wood.
phenomenal.
Yeah, for like a good hour and a half.
Yeah, I like
and it's
that.
free form, you know?
wonderful.
Just totally free. I really like it.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's comforting.
Yeah. So that's what you're doing up in that office, just listening to podcasts, apparently.
Yeah, among having the pressure of an empire on my shoulders.
Well, it is
yes.
an empire, yeah.
Thank you.
Speaking of toil, a lot of stuff going on in the office this week. Big news about a little person maybe, having to quit, vacate their position. I had to quit the poker game, of course, is what I'm talking about.
No.
Huge news.
No.
Toiling, just working as hard as we could. But, it just got too crazy for me. That poker game, boss man.
Metal.
It's
Metal.
biggest news in the office. Me
Metal.
quitting the poker game.
Metal. That's not the biggest news in the office.
What are you talking about?
At all. It's hip-hop. Hip-hop leaving.
Oh,
No thanks to you.
that's.
Andy.
I mean, I don't know. Say what you will, okay? Like, he's gonna be fine. He'll go find another job. He's moved on. That's not big news. People move on all the time.
That's
Okay?
huge news. I'm sorry, no offense, nobody cares about the poker happenings in the office. Hip-hop has been
Nobody
here
cares.
for years.
Do you know what's going on down there? Do you know?
Tell us, please.
Boss man, do you even know?
Yeah, I know. Two things really fast. One, Metal, I told you what the poker game was, and I told you weren't going to like it. You chose not to listen. Number two, intern. We have a strict no poser policy. That's it. All right? You're either with us or against
I
us.
just don't think it was fair.
It's a war out there.
Don't think it's fair.
That's it. No posing. I don't even want action figures posing. Do you understand?
Yep. It's very clear.
It's in the contract that you signed.
Fine, agreed, no posing, but I think deep down, Indy, even you still care about hip-hop just a little.
Look, if I had it within me to care about someone, he would be on the list. But unfortunately, I don't, so there's nothing I can do.
And quite frankly, intern two, it's tough love, okay? Caring about somebody means enforcing the rules around them so that they learn lessons. Can't be posing, bro. You know what I mean?
I just think it was a little soon.
That
That's
being
all.
said, yes, that's why we're not upset. That's why the big news is me quitting poker,
No.
because hip-hop knew the rules. He knew what he was getting into. Boss man, I have to disagree with you. You said the game would get a little crazy. There was no mention of limbs being cut off. There's no mention of rats being put places. I didn't know you could put rats. There was do you know this week, Intertoo's chair puller is dead.
What?
He's dead.
Oh,
Satan murdered him.
he's gone?
I don't even know if Satan could murder somebody.
I really like that guy.
Because he's, between dimensions, so it's like to him, I guess, chair puller's still alive. Because now he's just down living where Satan lives anyway. But Satan murdered him. And we're never going to talk chair puller again. I signed up for murder, so I quit, and that's big news. I'm taking a stand. It's political.
My afternoon just got a lot gloomy.
We shall overcome.
Darn it.
Metal, do you remember about 6 months ago when you asked for a weekend off?
No, I would never do that.
Yeah, you did ask for a weekend off, and what did you ask it for? You asked it to go to a gathering of the Juggalos.
Oh, God.
Now, I've seen what they do there, and you're gonna tell me that whatever happens at the gathering of your evil pedophile clowns is somehow better than what goes on downstairs at the basement at a simple poker game? I don't think so.
You misunderstand, okay? I go to the Gathering Juggalos every year as training, okay? I go there to train.
So you took nothing from
Yeah.
your Satanist clown training that could be applicable to be a poker dealer.
Unfortunately,
That's too much for you.
the poker dealing, well, I was not prepared. Juggalos are one thing. It's all fago and fist fights, and I mean, there's some large people there. They bite. There's a lot to deal with. You can get smothered in those crowds. So I got good at that. I'm good in the action, if I could get physical. Unfortunately, it's a mental game in the poker one, and all of my training with the Juggalos, all of my training at home with Raina and Tina, who are absolutely out of their mind, did not prepare me. I'm gonna admit right now, I wasn't ready for the plague rats. I wasn't ready for the combination of the plague rats and the strange undead happenings. I mean, people are getting stabbed in the chest and then still living. I mean, I don't know. It was just too much at once. Maybe one of those things. Just the rats that are unnatural. Perhaps just Satan being violent. Perhaps just Satan creating zombies in front of me. Maybe one of those things I would have been able to deal with. Not just that, but it's an erratic environment. It's an abusive environment. You're walking on eggshells all the time. It's not a stand-up fight. It's like if I went in there, it's like, World War II. We knew what was going on. It was, you're just killing and fighting and you just know what's happening, all out war. But then you're in Vietnam and there's a man in the black pajamas. And you're like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I'm going to step on a punchy stick covered in pee or something. I don't know when the guy's going to be nice to me in this village or they're going to come out and murder me later. And then Satan's like that, emotionally. Because you're in the game, you're in the book game, you're all just trying to play a nice game, and then out of nowhere, bam, someone's getting stabbed. Bam, someone's getting their hand cut off. And it's like, I don't know what to do. You just, at every turn, you're just on edge. So there's no, downtime. If you commit fully to the fight, that's easy. I can handle that. I can handle Juggalos. I can handle Raina. I can handle Tina. It's a war zone that I'm aware of. But with this Satan thing, I mean, it's emotional IEDs all over the place. Does that make sense?
No, when you started comparing Vietnam to Satan, that's when I lost.
Shut up, intern 2!
Okay. I lost.
Man, hope you don't mind.
You know what I think it is, Metal? You know what's the one thing that the poker game has that all of your other extracurricular activities don't have?
Enlighten me.
It's the counting.
Well,
I think you're not good at math, Metal. And I think you never learned. And I think all this is just a big macho show and a big excuse to admit that you never learned how to count properly.
Is that true?
No.
I think I need you to admit it, Metal.
I don't think so.
I think we need you to admit it.
No, I think it's the emotional stuff I talk about.
Metal,
I think it's the fighting
Metal, look at me.
stuff.
Look at me. Metal. It's not your fault, Metal.
Just do it, Metal.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
I know it's not my fault.
Metal, it's not your fault.
I know it's not my fault.
Hey.
I know it's not my fault.
You had a hard time in school.
I don't know.
Teachers weren't nice to you. You've gotten very aggressive.
No, I mean,
but I think deep down you don't know how to count the cards, and that's why the devil's mad at you, and that's why the runner got killed, and that's why the newsy guy is always getting stabbed in the heart. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You know what's really hard? Okay?
This is what this is about.
It's really hard.
This is about you not knowing math, and it's okay.
I mean, what do you want me to do about learning math? I was 12 and a half.
It's not too late to learn. That's what I'm saying.
Well, maybe it was like I was, already thrashing around. There was hard stuff at home. I had this kid.
Babies raise your babies.
And then, I was bullied like a lot, okay? And by bullied, I mean like I learned to fight back. I got tough. I built armor on myself. But like people, at school calling me daddy all the time. Like, oh, daddy, are you gonna make some diapers? And I was like, I'll make a diaper out of your face. And I'd poop in their face after I kick them. And I would do that a lot. And there wasn't a lot of time to learn math in between that, okay? Even Mr. Crowley called me daddy. Even Mr. Crowley would make fun of me. He'd be like, you're gonna be a janitor your whole life, daddy-o. And I'm like, Mr. Crowley, you're supposed to support me and encourage me. Maybe I could have found a safe space, like finding Forrest, or maybe there could have been a guy being like, you're the man now, dog, and he would have seen some potential in me, and I could have learned math, but no, there was no time.
You had to grow up fast. You had to grow up
survive.
fast. We should give you a crash course in math someday.
Okay.
I would love to help and make a flow chart teaching you all the ins and outs of mathematics.
Intern 2 really cares about you. Remember that. There's nothing Intern 2 wouldn't do for you.
I'm going to agree with Indy. I'm here for you, buddy.
Shut up, intern.
He said it, but he didn't mean it.
No,
he didn't mean
no,
it.
he didn't.
He didn't. He said one thing, but his heart
buddy.
said something else.
He's a big bad teddy bear. That's all he is.
All right. Okay, guys.
Daddy.
You guys maybe there's some cool YouTube things or something? I mean, Scene's learning a lot from YouTube, right? Scene doesn't even go to college.
Don't get me started on
Because you could just
Scene.
learn on YouTube stuff. Kind of could learn math on YouTube.
I'm a little disappointed in Scene. That's all she does on YouTube. YouTube is her new school, and that's not healthy. Don't get me wrong. I know that there are some educational programs on YouTube. Have you guys heard about Vsauce?
No. Is that like violent sauce? That's like blood, right?
It's the opposite of violent sauce. In fact, it's education sauce for your brain, and I love it.
That sounds dumb.
It teaches you what color mirrors are. There's a color that mirrors are. Did you know this?
What color?
It's actually green. If you put, I watched a Vsauce video, if you put two mirrors in between each other and you look and you see infinity U's, you're going to notice that there's a greenish tint. And it's green.
You always have a greenish tint, intern 2.
Well, that's just the
It's because you eat so many
overflow.
processed foods, I think. All the bologna, the Wonder
Love
Bread.
my bologna.
All that, American cheese, the
I will never give that
mayonnaise.
up.
It's giving you this sickly green.
Sickly?
So that's why that's happening.
That's my body thing.
There's no color to mirrors, am I right, boss?
No, there's definitely no color to mirrors.
Well, I tried.
Looked in a mirror before, and I appear to be the color that I am. So
Yeah, you're just seeing yourself as green because you're ill inside. I bet if you you probably won't even rot after you're dead. You're just gonna be formaldehyde and preservatives all over yourself. That's why you turn green.
Never
the
thought
mirror
of that.
just reflects back who you are and what you are. And I think as the intern and the person with the least experience, you're the greenest one here.
Yeah, that too.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Fresh
I
as
never
heck.
thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I'm literally the greenest one here. As in not just
it's a combination.
new, but
You know what color I am when I look in the mirror? Awesome.
Yeah, that's
is that a color?
It is.
Is that closer on the violet scale or the red spectrum?
It's chartreuse, but with plaid.
Yep.
I can picture it.
Yeah, I'd say it's a combination of your lack of experience, physicalizing in a shamanic way, and the high fructose corn syrup running through your veins.
Well said, Metal. Well said.
Thank you.
I do need that corn syrup. Well, I'm just letting you know that if you want to learn things on YouTube, you can. There are channels that specialize in edutainment, if you will.
Well, obviously, because Scene doesn't even have to go to college, so cool.
I'm a little disappointed in her.
Yeah?
A little bit.
I'll be honest. I'm hoping Rain ends up at college. Just because I think,
Really?
I wanted to have opportunities, I did it. I had a really close eye at her growing up. I mean, I still do. We're still raising her. But we were in school together, and I was always very impressed, When K through 12, I was high school. She started kindergarten.
Right.
Sometimes it was hard. I got in a lot of fights because I had to, protect her from being bullied, too.
Oh, wow.
She went to, there's phases that weren't cool, though. Like, this one, she, tried to eat lunch with me every day. And I was like, look, I know you're my daughter, and I, protect you if you have problems, but,
Metal. That's horrible.
I'm gonna eat lunch by myself, okay? It's not cool.
That's awful.
Well, I had to eat lunch alone in general. Again, it was a violence bubble.
I get what... Okay.
I had to protect myself. Boss man, you going through any phases lately?
I had one a few months ago. Everybody's always accusing me of being a hipster.
Yeah, I don't know what
where
to
it
talk
comes from. It's just stupid internet rumors. They just throw stuff on you, even when it's not true. But I got sick of it after a while because I know I'm not. I know what I'm into. I know how I dress. I know how I define myself. So I figured let's find some hipsters, spend some time with them, and I'll learn what not to be.
Sure, see what the fuss is about.
Right. So I went over to the Thirsty Dog, which is some bar you've probably never heard of, and I had a drink over there, and I saw, my God, these people were just, this was like hipster personified. It was like the back of Vice magazine spread out. They were just the beards and the overalls and the funny hats and the bikes and the whole thing. They just had a way of talking and of relating, and I just kind of assimilated into their group, which I thought would be difficult.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
Turns
like you
out
at
the
all.
nicest people in the world, just really, really sweet, really kind.
Just find yourself fitting in.
Non-violent, just took me back to their place, and we sung songs, and we made our own dinner with our hands, and I started to think to myself, maybe I am a hipster. And I said, guys, I think I want to live with you guys and be a hipster. And they informed me that they were not hipsters, they were Amish.
Oh,
no.
Real
They were
Amish.
They were real Amish.
Oh, Indy.
Straight up Pennsylvania Dutch.
That's right.
Wow.
So I had a brief, unknowing Amish phase.
I did not see that coming.
All I took with me was the overalls and the facial hair. Everything else, they can keep it.
Sure. Did you go for buggy rides?
Butter churns.
Wow.
It was great.
Eating some kooky greens. I could see the confusion,
Yeah,
They
oh
had
yeah.
dinner at purslane and kale, lamb's quarters. You'd say, oh, this seems like hipsters to me, but no.
And marrying your cousin's cool.
Is that cool?
Is that what they're into? Yeah.
I did not know that.
I guess you could say the Amish were the original hipsters, huh?
Yeah. Although, have you seen that show, the Amish Mafia show? Some of those Amish are crazy. They got assault rifles and they're burning people's buggies down.
How do you do that if you're non-violent?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I think it's kind of like one of those, like there's, in society, intern two, you might understand this. There are wolves and there are sheep and there are sheep dogs. So you're like a sheep, and then wolves would prey upon you.
Yes.
And, in my darker days, I might do that. But as I became a father, I found that I am a sheep dog, which means I'm capable of the violence of the wolf, but I do it to protect the sheep. You know what I mean?
That was beautiful.
So some of the Amish have to take it upon themselves to enforce for the other Amish.
So Amish people are sheepdogs. Is that what I'm
Yes.
hearing?
However, I think in this case,
Okay.
some of these sheepdogs went feral and became wolves. It can happen. You walk that thin line.
Those Amish are scary.
Yeah, they're terrifying.
Wow.
You know who else is going through a phase these days is Idol.
Yeah.
With this whole techno thing. You got DJ Elephant coming up. You know.
Really?
Yeah, he's techno and dubstep and Idol are all booking this thing. They're supposed to be
Well, that's good.
getting DJ Elephant in here.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Do you think that's cool?
I like DJ Elephant.
Really?
Wait, you like DJ Elephant?
Yeah.
That doesn't make He's so popular,
Yeah,
though.
I know him. Everyone knows DJ Elephant.
He's like world famous.
and you?
Yeah, but he's like taking the piss out. It's all like a joke. Like he's kidding.
I don't think so.
No,
Oh
he's
yeah,
not.
those puns,
No.
the whole thing. Yeah, he's kidding. It's like he's pretending he thinks it's funny in an ironic way, and I'm like,
No.
I get it, dude. I get you.
No, he's famous.
No, it's a joke,
My
right?
Aunt Beverly knows who DJ Elephant is.
Yeah, his big shows. He did that one where he wore the bodysuit and he had the big alien behind
Yeah.
him.
I saw that.
And he was,
Yeah,
like,
and his
doing
hit
the
song.
dances. Yeah,
on.
drops the
Very
song, man.
mainstream.
That's the thing.
Everyone, it's on the radio all
Okay,
the time.
man.
And
Dropping
they
the
hate-
trunk.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
All right, man.
it's popular.
You guys just don't know how to appreciate it right.
I guess. I'm
telling you.
I'll have to re-examine that, boss man. But
Take that grain of salt,
I think you should
throw in some cayenne pepper, and just mix it all up and appreciate it.
All right.
Popular salt.
Make a little mainstream spice blend. Okay.
You know, see,
Possibly.
I like what I like, not dictate. I mean, if I just like something because it wasn't popular, that would be as conformist as liking it because it is popular.
Be like a hipster or something.
I don't know what that word means, but I'm telling you that
Nice.
you can
metal.
appreciate it on different levels.
Yeah. Well, all I know is there's been
sad.
a higher amount of vomit around the office lately. Yeah. A weird phase.
Yeah.
I mean,
Poor Idol.
there's Bigfoot's typical excretions, which is mostly what my week is made up of cleaning these days. Now that I've quit being a poker player, dealer, pardon me. But
As we've heard, yeah.
But once in a while, I'm finding some vomit around, and there's this whole instance with Idol puking in Scene's face, which is like admirable.
I think Idol's faking it. It's very obvious.
Faking it?
Yes, Idol's faking it.
What? The whole techno dubstep thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's sad. She's just trying so hard.
I know.
Always
I don't
has
know
to be
what's going on.
topical, I guess.
Yeah, it's
don't
weird.
know.
It's uncomfortable.
You're just gonna end up with vomit on your hands. Literally.
I'm glad that you feel that way, because I feel like she's been very celebrated for this. Techno dubstep seem like happy with her thing. You know, even her puking on Scene's face, like everyone's okay with that, I guess.
No,
Being
it's
this
Scene.
new thing, trying to be on the cutting edge.
Yeah.
When I vomit, I had a whole band called Jars of Vomit. I talk about gargoyling all the time. I gargoyle, which is of course the act of vacating your bowels and your stomach at the same time,
That's possible?
perched as a gargoyle on it. Yeah, of course it's possible.
Never heard of that.
Did you not watch any of the stuff that they aired of a reality show from the first season?
No, I don't.
Turn 2. Come on, you gotta review the game tapes, bro. Know what they're saying about you.
Do you know anything about me? How long have we worked together? Why would I watch anything about gargoyling? It sounds terrible and horrendous
In any case,
and crude.
I'm gonna be honest. I got a little chip on my shoulder that everyone's psyched about her whole transformation and the vomiting. But when I want to talk about puke, it's like, okay, take it away. Take it someplace else. Hide your light under a bushel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I should be celebrated. is
Indy,
I'm
what do you
saying.
think about the whole vomiting thing? I think it's the worst, right?
Pro or con?
As a professional vomiter,
Yeah.
What?
Really?
I mean, it's what I do. If
Bro,
you're gonna,
puke.
Metaphorically.
if you want to appreciate kombucha the way you're supposed to, you have to be vomiting
Of
at all
course.
times.
Oh,
So I just want you to know that there's a certain, cleansing that goes on with any kind of purge, the kind of releasing of toxins from the body, the kind of removal of all the mainstream crap. You can't hide it sometimes. You're walking around, you just get bombarded with images. You see them on the buses, you see them on TV screens when you walk into places. Like, you need to purge that stuff. So it's good to let it out every once in a while. Replace it with something good like kombucha or Melba toast.
Are you?
Yeah.
You think you're okay with that?
Yeah, I
Idol
think,
just over everything.
well, no, not over everything. I mean, moderation is key to any kind of habit, but sure,
Shouldn't
let
be
a little
doing
bit
it
out.
all.
Let's not go, puking every meal.
Are you listening to this?
Yeah. I was just thinking. I didn't think of it that way.
No, not you too.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are
see
condoning
something in this.
bulimia. This is terrible.
Look, we're not
What?
sewing people's
Condoning-
mouths to other
putting
people's
these
butts and
science
creating
terms
human
no one
centipede.
knows. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Right? Even though it's science.
Science. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're talking about
And
some
shame on
scientific
you.
term. What is that? What did you call it? I don't know what bulimia.
Bulimia,
That has to do with anything.
We're not from bulimia.
Yeah,
we're not
from any
bulimians.
place. We're not bulimian science outfits sewing people's orifices
you, Madeline.
together so they vomit into each other's mouths forever.
I apologize.
Like you're suggesting.
And by the way, that was sick, intern
That's
2.
disgusting.
Shut up, intern 2.
Bulimian mad science.
No good deed. No good deed.
Your fantasies are disgusting.
Yeah, we're talking about something. It's shamanic, okay? We're talking about vision quests. We're talking about ayahuasca. We're talking about peyote.
Are
we're
we?
talking about sweat lodges.
That's
we're
right.
talking about purging toxins from
We are.
society.
When were we talking about sweat lodges? I missed that completely.
Like, I mean, they say, okay, you see all these images coming at you about you should be like this, you should be like this, you
Right.
should be like this. Well, then you gotta vomit to get that out of you.
That's right.
Am I going insane?
I don't know what.
I must be.
You are not going insane, intern 2. You barely have a grip on reality. Again, probably because of the processed foods that you eat that are turning your brain into rubber.
And my skin green, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, pardon me. Indy was probably going to tell you, to eat some kales, some purslanes. I'm going to agree with that. You eat some weird greens, get some probiotics in you. I'm going to suggest you up your grass-fed beef intake. All right? No antibiotics or hormones. You're going to want to eat more liver. You're going to want to eat more kidney.
Bologna.
No, you got to get off the bolognas.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's phony bologna. That's what they call that because it's not real
Love
meat.
me some phony bologna. Not gonna
Now,
happen.
if you can find yourself a well-sourced bologna made from organic, pastured, grass-fed, no antibiotic, beefs and intestinal linings and fats with no nitrates added, I'll support that.
Yeah.
But it won't be pink.
Nope.
No pink bologna. That's got pink salts in it, and they're gonna give you cancer of your brain.
This is awfully confusing. If you can make a flowchart version of everything you're telling me, I will eat it up. Not literally.
Flowcharts. With the flowcharts.
They're the greatest way to organize information.
Open your mind, okay?
When all your information is in a disarray, I know a very special tool that's going to make your day. Flowcharts.
Oh my god.
Flowcharts.
You know what? This is probably some bulimian mad scientist thing again.
I guess, because it's not English to me.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't sound American.
Out of bulimia.
With the flowcharts and all the nitrates in your food. I'll tell you what people are learning about on the internet these days. Things like what the fox says. You guys seen this video?
Yes.
What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's creative if you're...
Excuse me. Alpha's first. Indy, boss man, what are your thoughts on the fox says?
I only appreciate Jamie Foxx as an actor. I don't appreciate his music.
Oh, really? You know, not even a Gold Digger song where he does the hook?
No.
No.
That's not... No, I think you're a bit...
Don't correct me, intern 2.
Sorry.
Yeah, shut up, Inners,
But you're wrong.
What are you talking about?
The Fox video.
What Fox video?
Is that what we're not talking about? The Norwegian comedy pop
Well, we
duo?
were talking about a great film, and so we were talking a little bit about first Jamie Foxx, and then I was talking about have you seen the film Antichrist by Lars von Trier?
Ah, yes.
What the Fox says, chaos reigns.
That's what the Fox
That's what we're
says.
talking about.
That's right.
That movie took a dark turn in the third act. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. I never watched it.
It took a dark
I
turn
tried.
from the first
I tried
act.
joining in, and I just wanted to be one of the alphas, and
No,
that didn't
don't
work.
try that.
I tried.
Don't try it.
I'm a sheep. I'm a sheep.
trying.
I'm a sheep. I'm a sheep. You're a sheepdog.
Sorry, my instincts just kicked in there.
Very good. No, that was good. Very good.
What video were you referring to?
Oh, what does the fox say? Is the title of the video.
What does the Fox say?
Well, according to the video, the fox. What does the fox say? Do you recall the video?
What is the video? What are you talking about?
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. It's this Norwegian comedy pop duo called Elvis.
Oh, that Fox video. We're
Yes.
talking about the good Fox video.
I see. Okay,
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so
There
now
are
let's
many
talk
Fox
about what the
videos.
plebs and the Omegas have been watching
Right,
this
okay.
week. Excuse me.
Didn't even occur to me that was. I mean, my God.
Yeah, the only Norwegian videos I watch are, there is a Chaos Reigns death metal Norwegian band video. About what the
You've
Fox
probably
says.
never heard of it.
So yeah,
That's for sure.
You're talking about the one with the guy, what they say, what the animals say.
Yes.
They're dressed in weird costumes in
Yes.
the woods.
Oh, yeah.
and they say nonsense words.
They say nonsense
What
words.
does the fox say? Chow, 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 chow,
That's
chow,
it,
chow.
right? And that's where I take issue. That's not what a fox's mating call sounds like
Really?
at all.
What
Really?
does a fox mating call sound like?
You haven't heard?
No, what are you talking about?
It's the fox is a very delicate, deep-throated, resonating mating call.
What
It's
does it
very
sound like?
graceful.
One more time.
and it's beautiful. It's so rare. It's only been recorded about 5 times since the history of radio, and it's beautiful.
All right, well, I'm gonna tell you something. A, you're wrong. I was testing you. B,
excuse me?
clearly your weird bulimia and mad science has taught you some strange things about animal biology, because that is not what foxes say, and it has been recorded plenty more than 5 times. All right?
That's what it sounds like. It's beautiful.
The fox mating call is horrible. It sounds like a weird shrieking hyena sound.
Oh yeah, a hyena, really?
It does kind of. It sounds
All ears
like
metal.
It does. It's not laughing though. It's just like this strange, like it's like this, like. That's what it sounds like. I swear to God, you can hear it in the woods.
Not any fox I've ever seen.
And they're all mating with each other.
That's not beautiful at all. It's
not beautiful. It's horrible. That's why the fox is chaos reigns. That's why the fox is in Antichrist saying chaos reigns, and then they mate. That's the fox.
Indy, who's right? Or whatever that abomination is. Who's
closer to that? I'm not like a biologist of wildlife. I'm doing my best here.
I lived out in Nantucket for a while in my early days, where there are foxes abundant.
Yep.
I can
we can settle this.
assure you
Yeah.
that if you hear a fox, it is going.
One more time.
No. Well, sure. That's what a fox sounds like, just as a standard. I was doing the mating call. I was doing the sounds of a fox mating. That is a fox just going.
Generally,
about
a fox in most moods.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what they have to say.
That sound?
Yeah.
You're both so wrong.
I have lived among them.
Maybe
Not as them, but with them. They didn't accept me as their own. But
And I've listened to the audiobooks. I know what they sound like.
I will concede that the foxes in my neighborhood may be outliers. The way Intern 2 is an outlier, you know? I mean, most humans, you would say, this is what a human sounds like, looks like, smells like. Intern 2, if he was the only human you'd ever met, you'd say, whoa, that's what a human smells like?
Yeah, exactly.
Much like I think my fox goes, "Ah!" But I might have had an Intern 2 fox making those sounds.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
They're individualists.
Does that metaphor make sense? An analogy?
No, that's a very poor metaphor.
Whereas
very
most
poor
of
analogy.
them, the foxes that would be a metal fox or a boss man fox would make that sound.
Right.
Neither of them make your bulimia and mad science sound.
is the noise.
Well,
No.
I applaud the Norwegians in general.
Trying a little too hard, that video. Trying a little too hard.
Yeah, think so?
Yeah.
Speaking of trying too hard, have you guys seen Miley Cyrus and that wrecking ball drag? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no thank you. No thank you.
Yeah, I got mixed feelings about the whole event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's hear him. Let's hear both feelings.
I mean, on the one hand, right up front, the song itself, yes, take a wrecking ball to the song. It's terrible. It's garbage from a garbage pile. It is as if Intern 2 ate the gnarly pseudo food he already eats, pooped it out, mushed it up in a Vitamix, and then drank it again and then pooped it out again. It's about that quality.
I don't think what I eat is that terrible.
Yeah, it's not even.
Bologna's good for your heart. I digress.
God.
And I digest.
That being said, I gotta say, I think all this hate that this kid is getting is insane. I think that, it's a slow news week maybe. I think there's someone, I think my personal preference is it looks like a 12-year-old is swinging around naked on a ball or whatever. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Every time-
do what you want.
I
But
couldn't
she's
watch.
of age, and I'm just saying, giving her a hard time about it. I'm gonna go on a thing right now.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, the show is on the national news. Nobody cares about it anyway. VMAs aren't a real show. No. And this kid goes out there and twerks, all right? I've learned about the twerking from Raina and Tina. I get the culture. Fine, a goofy dance. Do what you want to do. Express yourself. Some of us like punch people in the face. Some of us like to shake our butts around. It was embarrassing and weird. This kid in this weird little thing. Whatever. We all grow up and do weird things. What I don't understand is how the whole nation is mad because Hannah Montana wants to take her clothes off and act weird, but this other guy who's on BuzzFeed sticking his hand in a lady's butthole, who's married, has his own kid, he's getting twerked on, singing a song about blurred lines of consent, which frankly, as a father and a husband, offends me, and he gets a pass. And his weird getting away with it misogyny or whatever, sexual weirdness. Let's go after this girl. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest, I did not like his pinstripes during the VMAs.
Yeah, it was weird.
They were offending to my eyeballs, and I can only take so many stripes and colors at once, and it was just like a rainbow from hell.
I'd like to take
Pardon
a
the
wrecking
language.
ball to that guy. I hope Marvin Gaye's family gets all of his money forever for that stupid song.
He was dressed like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Beetlejuice.
He was.
Why did he do that?
Where was Billy Ray during all that?
Yeah, well, Billy Ray's, you know.
Crying in a corner somewhere, I hope.
Billy Ray.
Shame on you, Billy Ray. Shame on you.
Terrible music. But he, you know, reminds me in a very minor way that hard living lifestyle. I can't help but admire it. The rise and fall and fame. It's a Johnny Cash thing, you know? I may not like country, but I can appreciate a hard life.
Pro Billy Ray, anti Miley.
I think we can all agree.
Anyway, didn't mean to go off about that forever, but you know, I got feelings and thoughts. You guys got any of those ever?
I've read about them.
Yeah.
I've never actually experienced them. They sound wonderful.
Yeah.
More of a baloney guy.
Yeah, they can be real torture sometimes. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Sometimes I'd like to get rid of them, but you know, once you eat from the tree of knowledge, you can't go back.
Aptly put.
That old saying.
So, watch YouTube, follow the money. Anyway, let's take some questions.
Hey.
From Reddit, Twitter, comment section of YouTube. Let's see what people are saying on the last podcast or on our tweets. You got something interesting too?
I actually do. This was addressed to me, but I think all of you can answer this fun one. This is from Mystery Guy. He or she is on Twitter. Intern to MyMusic. Would you survive in the Hunger Games?
No. No, he would not.
Let me finish.
Boss man, do you have a thought? Would he survive in the Hunger Games?
No. Continue.
Sorry, continue now. Rebuttal.
No, there's no rebuttal. I agree. I would die very quickly, but you could at least let me, like, you know, justify why I would die very quickly.
Sorry, instinct. I'd like to hear that though.
Does baloney grow on trees? Sure doesn't. How about you, Metal? How would you do in the Hunger Games?
I think I would do very well in the Hunger Games.
Really? Really?
I could go either way. I'll be honest, because you know there's two approaches to the games of hunger, right? Is you either run off into the woods,
Right.
or you run towards the melee,
Right.
Initially,
The
right?
cornucopia, as they say.
Yeah, sure, of violence, and frankly, that's what I would do. I wouldn't be able to resist. I'm a junkyard dog, and when there's
That
a
could
pit,
cost you.
I gotta jump into it.
That could cost you dearly.
Straight up instinct. And you know, when you're in one of those things, when the blood comes out of your eyes and you wake up, sometimes you just don't know what's happened. You know, when you go into berserker mode, you can't control everything. So I do believe that I would be the only one standing left at the cornucopia. I believe all the other games components or whatever who decided to come would be dead. That being said, I may have suffered grievous mortal wounds in the battle, and once the adrenaline passes and the fog lifts, there's a chance I could bleed out.
I think that's a very likely situation.
Could go
Indy,
either way.
would you survive the Hunger Games?
Yeah, I think I would survive.
Really?
Well, yeah, first of all, I'm really good at filling my enemies with self-doubt as to whether they're on the right side.
That's true.
I'll give you that much.
And I don't get hungry.
Amazing.
Okay. Well,
Plus,
well,
all
there
your
you go.
knowledge of strange natural organic greens, you know, it'd be easy to eat off the land,
Yeah, I mean, if I experienced hunger, that would be the first place I'd go.
right?
Not going to come up, but if it would, that's what I'd do.
I mean, you're forgetting how crafty Boss Man is.
I
You're
am.
forgetting
I am.
about his shamanic connections.
Thank you.
You're forgetting about his training in channeling animal spirits.
His what connections?
What did I say?
I don't know. Stramonic?
Shamanic.
Ah, there it is.
See, they don't teach you about this in bulimia and pseudoscience.
They sure don't, Metal.
About animal
They
spirits.
sure
and
don't.
Totemic power. You know? Anyway, this is why we're alphas. You can't even see it. You can't even see the threat.
I'm starting to feel it, though.
You know what I mean?
The omega.
You're out of your element. You're swimming with sharks.
Yeah.
You're a seal swimming with killer whales.
Nah, but seals are fun. though.
Orcas.
Yeah.
Seals are what?
They're fun.
Yeah.
I can be fun
I
sometimes.
take it back. You're not even a seal. Seals, at least, are carnivorous creatures. You're some kind of algae.
Baloney's meat.
You're more like krill. You're more like
You like chum.
chum.
And chum?
Chum.
Or a cloud of plankton, and we're whale sharks.
That's right.
I don't know if I like that analogy.
That's more accurate. You have
I'll
no
accept
sense
it.
of what's going on.
Not most times.
Yeah.
You know what sound chum makes?
Tell me.
That is what it makes.
Not every animal sounds like that.
Doesn't sound the way to you that it does to me.
Yeah, that's correct. You don't have the ears to hear it.
I guess not. Well,
It's like saying everyone from the East Coast sounds one way. No, New Jersey sounds
Yeah.
one way. Long Island sounds one way.
They all sound different.
It's all to you just hear the same thing over and over again.
I bet to you, intern 2, I bet a lot of things are just sound the same. All look the same. All sound the same, huh?
well, I won't argue that. Like that EDM bonker stuff. No, thank you.
Well, that's true.
It's all a lot of
I
bleeps
agree
and
with that.
bloops.
A lot of bleeps and blarps.
And bloops.
I agree with that.
Oh, the klezmer folk singer, Elliot David Moynihan. Great. Really great. I love that stuff.
No.
At least he has an opinion. Some ears that can hear different stuff. Intern 2, it's all flowcharts to you.
Yes, it is. Thank God for flowcharts.
You know, I gotta say, this dubstep, they're comparing it to metal a lot. You getting that a lot? I don't know. I was thinking about it the other day. I've always been pretty prejudiced, I suppose I'll say. I'll admit it, against the bleeps and blarps. But as we're talking about opening our eyes and being able to see, you, for instance, think everybody looks green just because you look green.
Never said that.
To be able
Never
to
claimed
open
that.
your eyes and see what things are, I'm going to say this about the bleeps and blarps of the dubstep and comparing it to metal. Here's what's undeniable. The undeniable power of the bass, the build to the drop that you know is coming. At some point, a hammer, like the hammer of Thor, is going to fall upon you in the songs in metal, right? Dubstep, the hammer's just more like, I don't know, the Matrix or something.
That was a great little rant you just had, Metal. But going back to the questions, I actually found a really great question for you, Indy, regarding me. This is from Dan Frazier on Twitter, and Dan asks, Indy, why do you hate Intern 2 so much? Yeah. Why?
I think you've demonstrated it for the listening audience.
Yeah, if you have to ask, dude.
Really think I need to explain it to them. I mean,
Even you can recognize how sickly green you look in a mirror.
right? I mean, you can smell that. It's pungent.
It's the light, though.
You
the
can
light,
see your smell.
The light's doing that right now.
That's amazing.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, it's always the lighting, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I like that you wouldn't ask for a question. You asked a question about yourself too. A little self-centered.
It's arrogant.
I was opening the floor for our boss.
Opening
for
the floor to talk about you.
man, as you aptly put it so often.
Yeah.
Do you understand how many listeners we lose every time we mention your name?
I have seen the numbers. It's not great.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's amazing to keep you around.
But what can you do? I'm on contract for at least 18 more podcasts. So
Interns have no contracts. Catherine WH95, Catherine Harris wants to know, Indy, have you ever heard of Mickey Echo? Totally Culkin, with Culkin spelled wrong, which I appreciate. Yeah, I like Mickey Echo. There's that song Subtle by Active Child. Probably never heard of it, but Mickey Echo does a guest on it. It's really great.
Someone asked me about the Amon Marth album, the new one, and I lost you. But it's good. I agree. I like what those Swedes are doing. They sing a lot about Vikings, and they're on a label called Metal Blade. I mean, what's not to love? So I'll find you and shout you out, buddy. Amon Marth, though. Yeah, digging it. Intern 2, you listening to anything these days?
what I do is I like to put the flowchart song on repeat on my
Again, your own song.
music device. Yes.
Your own song.
It's a good
Self-centered.
song. It's a
Self-centered.
good song. It's addictive. That's it.
Intern 2 once had a Walkman on,
Yeah.
and I walked by, and as a hilarious jab, I kind of pulled it out, just to kind of make him feel bad a little bit, and I actually caught a bit of what he was listening to
Really?
in his headphones.
Insight into this, whatever's going on inside of this little
Yeah.
hamster cage.
What was it? What was I listening to at the time?
It was white noise.
Yeah.
It was just white noise.
It's calming. It's relaxing.
Binaural beats, huh?
Oh, what is? It helps me like put my thoughts together.
Sure.
Right before I make a nice long paperclip chain.
All right, that's enough for questions. I think that's it for the podcast today. We learned a lot today about Intern 2 and why he's so terrible and self-centered. Be sure to keep asking questions on, Reddit, the comment section of the podcast here. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Ask us questions on Twitter. You'll keep coming back. Boss man, thanks for joining today. Intern 2. I don't know.
Hey, we had good times.
See you next time, Subas.
Podcast.